Boom. And action. We ready to go? Yeah. Right, River, welcome, mate. Been waiting to have this conversation, chat for a little while now. A long while, to be honest. You've been flying the flag for Coventry as a pro boxer for quite what feels like quite a while now. So I think your pro debut was it 2018?
Yes,
was
it was. I was 23 at the time.
23.
Yeah, 29 now. So
that's a good age to turn pro. But yeah, like I said, it feels like you've been around for ages. Obviously, you had a long amateur career as well.
Yeah.
But first of all, how you doing? Are you in camp? Like, what are you up to at the moment?
Yeah, I'm all right, man. I'm just coming back from my last fight, from the loss. Just coming back from it, like I said, yeah. And at the minute, I'm just taking over. Getting ready. Like, I'm not going to fight now this side of the year. And then obviously, I think looking like February, going to be out. So yeah.
How are you in between camps? Because I know a lot of boxers, they tend to they tend to let themselves go in between fights. Not saying all boxers do, but obviously you train like a monk, right, for 2 or 3 months, and they then just want to have a blowout or eat what they want, maybe have a few drinks. Do you do that during camp?
Well,
no, in between camp, sorry.
Normally, yeah, I do. But I'm always maintaining my weight.
Yeah.
So I'm always thinking like what opportunity could come. So like, I don't want to blow up like 20 pounds and I've got to lose that. So I'd rather always try keeping 10 pounds. If I stay at like what 170, 172, I'm happy.
Yeah.
But this time my coach just said to me, like Paul just said, you know what, just forget about boxing, go do your thing. Obviously, I'm still ticking over in the gym. I can't stay out of the gym.
I think that's probably, especially for you at the stage you're at in your career now, is probably a good way to look at it in terms of ticking over, staying in shape, because you could get that call at any time, right, for a big fight, which sometimes you may only get 2 or 3 weeks notice. And then if you can jump in there and you are already in good shape, which maybe somebody else wouldn't expect you to be in as good shape, it's a good shout, right?
Yeah, definitely. And that's how these promoters try catching you out.
Yeah. I've noticed that.
They throw a lot of money in your face and they'll be like, right, you've got 2 weeks or you've got a month.
Yeah.
And they put you in situations where you're like, but if you're ready and you're always ready to fight, then you're like, yeah, I've been waiting for this chance and this opportunity. So
okay, sweet.
That's the one.
Good stuff. But let's go back to we'll start from the beginning, obviously. You started boxing when you were, how old was it? 13?
14 when I first walked in the
14
gym.
years old. And obviously we just kind of mentioned off camera, I think for a short time we were amateurs at the same time.
Yeah.
But I think did you have over 50 amateur
Yeah, about 57.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
Okay, so what got you into boxing to start off with?
It's more, you know Stephen Steele?
Yes, I do. I went to school with him.
Yeah. He one day was just chilling out and he just said to me, do you want to come boxing? And I was a bit like, nah, I don't want to go boxing. And after a while he kept asking me and I thought, you know what, I will go. So I went with him and went to Newdigate and like I said, it's
stuck.
Yeah, that's it, man. I'm still doing it now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Fair enough. So there was no real, like, it wasn't for a sense of self-defense or conflict. It was just a case of I just went along and
just go with it. And then like there's no fighting in my family. Like no one, my family all like rugby players. And
so you're the first one to do it in your family.
Rugby players, basketball players.
You got a brother who's a rugby player, right? Yeah.
And he
went to Nico.
And Miles, and he was like he's one of those guys, who can do anything. He's good at it.
Yeah.
So like, I was always following him. Like he played football, he'll be a star. He'll play rugby. He was the best in his team. And
I remember he was quite athletic.
Yeah,
during the school days.
We called him testosterone boy. He was that big man.
Big guy.
Yeah, he had a moustache. And he was only like what 11 or 12. But so I was always following him. So boxing was like I did it myself. I used to take myself to training and found the love for it myself.
And then why the decision to then turn over into the pro game?
That was my partner, to be fair, at the time.
Oh, she pushed you to turn pro?
Yeah.
Okay. I would have thought it'd be the opposite. Like your missus saying, "Nah, knock it on the head." Like,
nah, I was always in for the button.
She knew you had talent, right?
Yeah. And I went into the Harrogate Box Cup for my last year, and I knew that this is my last year of the amateur boxing. If I'm going to turn, it's now.
Yeah.
And I got to the final. I beat a good lad the first day. The second day, I beat a real good England lad, Bradley Goldsmith from Cov.
Oh, you beat him?
Yeah, beat Brad.
Yeah, he's pro as well now, isn't he? He's a good lad, I've heard.
He's a very good lad.
Isn't he under the Ingle Gym?
Yeah.
He's
a good lad. He beat me 2 weeks before in the championships in a very close fight.
He was a national champion, wasn't he?
Yeah. He beat me in a very close fight a couple of weeks before, and then we obviously have pulled him in the Harrogate in the semis, and I was like, yes, it's my time.
So
I got him, beat him, and then I boxed a lad called Gabriel Dawson, who was like #1 in Ireland. He's won like Europeans. He was a top.
He
was a top boy. I lost on a good fight. I think he won the first and second round comfortably. The third round, I put it all over him, and I thought I won the third round. And when I got out, I was talking to Steve Bunce, and he was saying like, if that was a pro fight and it went another more rounds, you would have had him. You would have had him.
Out,
and then it was in my mind. Then thinking about it, Bren was trying to say, "Come on, do it. Let's do it. It's their time now."
Yeah.
And then my partner just said, "Come on, I'll support you. Let's crack on with it." So then I did.
Okay. And how did you find that transition?
It was hard at the start, but you kind of just throw yourself in there. But that's where you fight these journeymen, and you adapt and you change, and they're knowledgeable. And like after every fight I had with a journeyman, I always sat down with them afterwards and had a good chat with them and said, like, what was I doing good? What was I doing crap?
That's
what
really
should
good.
I been doing better? I had no ego about me, man. I wasn't going to stand there like, I'll beat you because of this.
So you didn't ever think like you were better than them. You're always even then trying to.
Just trying to
good mindset to have.
I find some people who had like over 100 fights and they've been in with everyone.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I want to know what I'm doing wrong or what I did really good or what they found awkward.
Yeah.
So that was brilliant with that. And I just adapted and changed and just really worked on it.
Yeah, no, it's a good mindset and a good way to approach the professional game, I think. And I'm just trying to think of, obviously I saw straight away when you transitioned over to the professional game. I don't think we've ever had like much of a conversation as such. We always knew of each other from school and things like that. But I did always follow your professional career, and it was really good to see you doing well. And I think the first time I really took notice and I thought, River could really do something in the pros is, I can't remember the lad's name, but you knocked him out, I think, with a big right hand. You know straight away who it is. What was his name?
Troy Coleman.
Troy Coleman, that was it.
The guy.
Yeah, and straight away I thought the style that you had as well, it was, you did the basics very well with straight punches, a good jab, and even that punch you knocked him out, and it was a good, solid, straight, basic right hand. But sometimes people overlook like straight punching and the basics. Sometimes it's the most effective thing, and I saw it was really working for you. So that was the first time that I noticed you, and then I saw you straight away going into the big fights. What would you say to date so far is your best win? Is your biggest win?
I'd say my biggest win has got to be the Troy Coleman one, as in I won my first title.
Because he was undefeated at the time.
He was 6-0.
Yeah.
And I think I was 7-0 or 8-0.
Yeah. No, so you were both taking a risk, which is like fair play to both of you. You weren't trying to pad your record,
But we just come out from lockdown because the fight was meant to be in March.
I remember.
Lockdown happened, so then I always got told like, just stay ready. You get this phone call, we've got to be ready. We've got to fight. So then
did that delay your career? Sorry to interrupt. With COVID,
I think it delayed it for a few months. For a good few months, but then I feel like I was one of the lucky ones to fight in the lockdown. And fight on the behind closed doors, because obviously, so I was training all the way through the year, thinking I was going to get this date, that date, date get pushed back. So I ended up boxing in December. So I've trained all the way through. So you got things been manic, And obviously lockdown happened. Then so I trained all the way through, and we got the fight. Obviously, bang on the club behind closed doors, and it was a bit strange boxing behind closed doors.
I remember watching it. There was like no one in the crowd, right? Mate, and I can imagine it was strange.
It was just quiet. You could hear all the instructions the coaches are saying, and to be fair, I really liked it. It was pretty cool. And then I ended up knocking them out in the third round, and then I got signed by Hennessy then. So
is that are you still with Hennessy at the moment?
No, I'm not with Hennessy anymore now. I signed with Hennessy then, and then we boxed again on behind closed doors. So I think I boxed three times behind closed doors. So I was active. Through lockdowns. And if it weren't for lockdown, I wouldn't have had that fight. So I always think lockdown's done me well. I know it's done a lot of people dirty, but it done me pretty well in the boxing. Okay. And I got to train as a full-time athlete. Because obviously no work. So I was working boxing. So I had the taste of a full-time athlete, and I loved it.
Okay. So obviously you got signed by Hennessy, and I think one thing that's probably makes you an attractive proposition for promoters, I think you've always had a big following, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I've done very well. Like the first fight, that was one of the things as well, turning over, because I knew it was a ticket game.
Yes, that's a bit. Unless you're signed with a big promoter, you need a big following, right? Yeah. Straight away, I was taken aback, like the amount of the big crowds you used to take to fights. You probably still take to fights.
My debut, I did 300 and something for my debut, and I was like, wow, I'm not promoter at the time. My manager was like, wow.
People take notice of that, right? Like promoters, and they're like, because that's what they want. They want
That's
people who can sell tickets. Like you said, it's
100%.
a ticket game, right?
They want bums on seats. That's all they want.
Yeah.
And then so I was sold loads of tickets, and then I was getting good crowds in. So then I got my opportunity early. I boxed on a Frank Warren show.
Yeah.
On my 4th fight.
Yeah. Was that on your 4th fight?
4th or 5th?
Yeah.
It might have been. I think I could be wrong. And then that was a good fight. That was a pretty good show. It was decent.
Yeah.
It was. I got to see what it was like with all the cameras and stuff.
Yeah.
I remember the first.
Sometimes people get starstruck, right, and they freeze under the lights.
Mate, the first interview I did, it was so I turned up. Managers just said, "Turn up at." I think it was Birmingham Football Stadium.
Yeah.
Turned up there. They had a press conference room. Didn't have a clue what was going on. So I've watched some press conferences, but I don't know. I just didn't
if you're
know
not used to it, it's going to take time, right? You're going to have to conduct yourself.
I didn't know what I was expecting, so I sat down and on this stage, and there's literally I said about 50, 60 people sat in front of me.
Yeah.
People with obviously the cameras just everywhere, and looking at me, and then give me a mic, and they were asking me questions.
Yeah.
And I was like,
oh, so is this like where you've got all the fighters sat down?
No, they did that. There was me and Nathan Heaney sat next to each other. I don't know why they did it like that, but they put me and Nathan on first, and they put more people on afterwards. It was a very small one. I don't know why it was done like that. Because normally it is on the tables, isn't it?
Yeah.
I probably would have felt more comfortable like that.
Yeah.
Not just a lot on me pressure, but a lot of folded. I was didn't know what to say. I was stuttering over my words. I was just a bit nervous. Do you know what I mean?
That's understandable, mate. I think people, and one thing I've realised through podcasting is starting off, mate. I was the same. The second that camera goes on, and it's like the pressure's on you, right, to come out with some useful.
I'm the same now. I still get it, and
but you get better over time, right?
You have to learn. Some people are so good at it.
Yeah,
I'm like I'd say jealous how some people they put a camera on them and they're like. Rah, rah, rah,
do you know what it is? Though sometimes we think that, and we think, oh, we need to be like that straight away. But I'm sure they've been through moments where they're perhaps not as good at speaking in front of a camera or speaking with a mic, and I think even for them it may take time. But I think we can often be hard on ourselves, right? We'll look at other people and think, oh, they're really good compared to me. I think you're a pretty good speaker in front of a mic. I don't know whether you've got better over time or not.
Yeah, definitely. If you want to scroll back to my first interview, the Frank Warren card, you'd be like, oh my god, okay.
Oh really?
I'm glad I've got this river now.
Fair enough. But obviously, so you fought on Frank Warren show, you fought on an Eddie Hearn show. Another fight, which I remember watched them both, was against Tyler Denny, who's obviously gone on to win a European title. They were two very intriguing. They looked like hard fights as well, like hard fights. How did you find them?
Yeah, very hard. They were good and just competitive.
Good, both a good watch.
With Tyler, I kind of called it out before. No, I think I was meant to box. I was made mandatory to box Nathan Heaney for the English title. Okay. Nathan, I sparred him a few weeks beforehand, and I was like, I knew I should. As soon as I got made mandatory, I was like, they're not going to take that fight. So
after the spar?
After the spar, yeah. So I was like, they're not going to take that fight. So obviously he pulled out, and then Tyler Denny got made mandatory.
Okay.
So then...
so what, did it become vacant? Did it?
No.
Oh, so he didn't have the title?
He didn't have the title, no.
Okay.
So we both
it was up for grabs?
We both boxed for a vacant title. And then, like I said, I've watched Tyler Denny. I knew him from the amateurs as well. And I was like,
was he a good amateur as well?
He was an amateur, yeah. He was okay. He did his thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't think he
never crossed paths as amateurs.
No, never. But he, I think why? Because there was a bit of beef with us two. They weren't ever.
I think it was good though. It made the fight. It gave the fight a bit of a story. It gave it a bit of. It got me intrigued.
It got us it got us a headline. It got us a live spot on the TV, and it got us a headline because of Shaq Peters was meant to be headlining.
Was any of that done for the cameras, or was it genuine?
It was genuine. Look what they done. Yeah, obviously they put both of us on the Coventry City pitch together, back to back. You got two people standing there back to back with each other who are fighting each other.
It's going to be a bit of,
There's a bit of pushing, and he pushed me on my back, and I turned around, and we're giving each other a bit of shit. We went into the press conference, and then he started waffling on, and he's getting me angry, and I was waffling on. Then it was clashing each other. We did a face-off, and we put our heads on each other. It was good. It was kind of good to be in that. Well, it was just heated. Do you know what I mean? It was decent. Yeah. So then obviously we got into the fight, and then obviously I want to take him out. He wants to take me out. And it was a good close fight. And obviously I thought I was ahead with the it was deemed a punch. No, it was deemed a clash of heads. And when I watched the back of the thing, Have you seen what I'll put on the camera?
You still got it, have you?
Yeah, I got big.
Damn, yeah, that is
big scar.
That is a big scar. Yeah.
He softened me up with his head. I'll give him that. But then
Yeah.
it was a punch when I watched it back on the
Yeah.
on the cameras. Fair play. It was a punch.
Yeah, I think when I see the back of it, yeah.
I'm man enough to say it.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. No, fair play to it, yeah.
But obviously, he got deemed a clash of head. So when
yeah,
went to
there's nothing you could do about that, right?
Of course, I ain't the ref. I don't wear. I ain't the ref at the night.
Mm.
But he weren't happy about it. So he screamed and blew murder. As you would really. But then we got the rematch on, and to be fair, we both. So we both had the press conference. I think it was around here, to be fair. And we both sat on the seats and nobody was there yet. We both looked at each other and we both just like laughed. We've been training to punch already for so long. The fight same again kept getting pushed back and pushed back.
Okay, yeah.
But then when we sat there and actually had a little chat, we're both the same person. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think often that's how it goes, right? But then it's your livelihood kind of on the line. You do anything to get that win, right?
Exactly. So then me and Sol after that became friends, and then I'll go I'll go up and spar him and help him out with fights. Vice versa, and I always wish him well. Yeah. So, but it was hard, man. He's an hard lad. I'll give him that.
No, fair play to you. Like I said, just watching that kind of took it out of me. I could tell it was a brutal fight. But was that your first loss then against Tyler?
Yeah, that was my first loss. So I drew against him the first fight.
Yeah.
And the second one was a loss. I had a split decision. It was a split decision. I had a point taken off as well. And I thought I was winning the fight.
Yeah.
He's good. I had a point taken off because he's really good at holding.
Yeah.
He's really just out of that southpaw. He's really good at He sticks you around there and he looks like holds you there. So it looks like you're holding. And I got a point deducted. I thought, well, they've got to take a point off him now as well because he's vice versa. And they didn't. But I thought the point maybe lost me the fight, maybe. I don't know.
How did you feel after that first loss? Obviously, in the amateurs, you experience loss, right? It's very easy to lose a fight in the amateurs, but in the pro game, obviously, that's your first loss. How did you take it? Do you put a lot of pressure on yourself, like not to lose, and what was that initial feeling?
And it's live on Sky Sports, so everyone's watching it. All my mates, all my family, all the people who are required to buy tickets.
Yeah,
the pressure's there, but I like the pressure though. To be fair, but
it's good.
Like I say, after the fight, how I felt, man, I didn't want to leave the house.
Really?
Do you know what I mean?
A lot of boxers say that when they have a loss, that they just don't want to leave the house. Or why is that? Like, why were you being so hard on yourself? Why are boxers like that?
I think it's because you put so much into it, and it's so much like in your head, like you're not losing. That doesn't even come into your head. So in your head, you're thinking, I'm going to win.
Because you have to have that self-belief, right? Exactly. When you're going in there,
you've got to have that mentality.
You can't start thinking, what if I lose?
They're the demons that when it gets to the 8th round and the 10th, 9th round, they can, You start thinking like that. You can't pull yourself out of the rut.
Yeah.
So you never think like you're about losing. So when you do lose, it's a stab in the heart. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
But then I've got a really good partner, Molly.
So you got partner, and you got a little one as well, right?
One as well, yeah. And she was, I think she must have been only a few months old when she came, when we had the fight with Tyler, the second one. And yeah, she's good, man. She helps me out. She helps me through it. She, I say, like, if I fight, she makes sure I'm out of the house the next day. We need to go shopping or we need to do this. She gets me out. Because if I sit in the house, I would just sit in the house. I'd just go, not villain, just like villain out. Sit in the dark room and I would if I could. And she gets me out and she gets me talking to people and
that's good.
So she's really good. She's really helped me through it, and myself as well. It's getting myself back in the gym. Like, that's the main thing. Like if I have too long out the gym, I start like questioning myself. Do I still want to do this? And then like she always says, we ain't come this far to give up now.
Yeah, no, it's a good point. Obviously, she's seen your kind of whole journey, right? And I think just probably like it in normal life, I think there are going to be times where you suffer a loss, you might want to feel a bit sorry for yourself or whatever. But I think when it gets dangerous is if you stay in that moment of feeling sorry for yourself for too long, it gets twice as hard to get out of that kind of rut and get out of that mindset, right? So it's good that you've got her there to help you kind of, and sometimes you do need a helping hand. I think sometimes people think they've got to do it all on their own, right? But you've got a good like support system around you.
100%, man. And like I say, she helps me me push through it. And like I say, you've got to do it yourself as well, because you've got to want to do it. Because there's times like I say, I sit there and I don't want to do this anymore. And then you do. It's just your mind. It's just because it's took a beating, not a beating, but because not like a physical beating, but you took a mental beating because of you thinking you're going to win and you lose. you're just pulling yourself through it. You've got to do it. It's one of them.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. And obviously that being your first loss in the pro game, and like I said, one of the reasons I wanted you on this podcast was I could tell you're not somebody. Well, to be fair, I don't think there's any shame against it if people do want to like pad their records or whatever, because it's a learning game as well, right? And you need the rounds in the bank. But really admired that you were just jumping into the big fights and taking the big fights straight away. And I think after the Tyler Denny fight, how long after that was it that you fought Hamza Shiraz, who probably is, I think a lot of people are saying, is going to be a world champion, right? And
multiple weight world champion.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
And how long after the Tyler Denny fight was that you took the Hamza Shiraz fight? And you took that on a month's notice, you said, right?
Notice, yeah. So I boxed Tyler, and then I think I had a few months off because you get like a 28-day ban because of the cut. Like 2 cuts both side. I know, yeah.
I'm just looking. I can see that cut now on that side. It's absolutely huge. Is there no risk of that opening back up? Like,
I went to a real good surgeon.
Yeah.
And then they stitched it up. So I did that over in Leicester.
Yeah.
Through someone I knew got me through the back doors and put me into a really good guy.
Yeah.
But I think it was maybe 2-3 months afterwards, maybe a month or two. And then I boxed against I forgot the guy's name, but I boxed one of John Pegg's shows, my manager's shows, grabbed a win, and then a few days afterwards got the phone call for the Hamza fight.
So it wasn't even that. So it was the next. What was it? 2 fights after the Tyler Denny fight.
Yeah,
okay.
So I had a fight.
There was no hanging about. There was
no,
straight into the big fight. Yeah,
exactly, mate. I go straight. Literally, if I lose in my head, I'm like, I want to get another fight straight away because I just want to train for something because I just don't want to. Because if I'm not training for another fight, I'm just dwelling on what happened.
Yeah, of course.
But if I'm focusing on another fight,
you have something to aim for.
Exactly, I've got something in my mind. I'm thinking about another fighter, and whatever happened in the past don't go in my mind anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got another fight, won that one, and then I think I stopped him actually. Ben Thompson, I think his name was.
Okay.
He's good from Blackpool.
Yeah.
Stopped him in the 5th round, the 6th round of him.
Yeah.
Stopped him in the 5th, and then I got the phone call for the Hamza fight. Obviously, buzzing.
There's a lot of media attention around that one as well, right?
Yeah, definitely. It was at the O2 Arena. Money was really good.
Was that the one on the AJ card? Or
No. This was on the Zach Parker and John Ryder card.
Okay, yeah.
So it was a good card. I've been with around the good lads. It was down for London 3 days before, and all the interviews and stuff. It was good. It was nice.
Yeah.
Frank Warren really looked after you.
Yeah.
So he looked after the guys. So that was cool. But then for actually boxing Hamza, like going into all these fights, when I take them, I take these fights because in my head, I'm gonna win.
Yeah. It's the mindset you
can be deluded or
you
not.
Cannot be a boxer without that mindset, right?
I've never gone into a fight thinking I'm gonna lose.
Yeah.
Never. It's never, ever. And even that changing room in my head, I'm gonna knock him out. In my head, I'm like, I've been thinking about this for that long.
Yeah.
I'm gonna knock the guy out.
Yeah.
That changed after the first round.
Really? You felt it straight away.
Yeah, he hit me with a good shot straight away. And I felt he caught me cold, but I think he is that good anyway. But he kind of did catch me cold.
Yeah. What is it that made him so good, do you think?
I think he's...
It's good to get an opinion of someone who's actually been in there with him as well.
He's good power. He's got a good boxing brain. He knew when to switch it on because as soon as he had me hurt, he was on me. And his arms are so long. It's like he can defend his top of his head and his body with his whole arm.
Oh, okay.
He's made to box. You can say the perfect person for a box. He's tall, he's rangy, and his arms are really long. So that was, and he could punch. Yeah, he could punch really good. Like all my coaches and everything were saying while he was fighting me afterwards, after the fight, they were saying like when they was hitting me, it was like a gun going off. Yeah, boom, 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 and the spray obviously coming back off just off the jab. But big up to him as well, man. I respect him, and all the way through it, he's a good guy. Yeah.
Did you have a chance to chat with him?
Yeah. I had a chat with him after the fight.
Seems like a humble guy.
Yeah, he was cool. In the press, there was no beef. It was just literally both had to do the job. That's the way I'm like. I can't be asked with all the beefing and stuff. Yeah. All that stuff.
I think some people like to play the villain, and in some ways it's good if it's you. Obviously, it draws attention and gets people like interested. But a lot of the Tyler Denny one, it was just natural. It happened, right? You didn't force it for the cameras, but that Hamza Shiraz fight, obviously the Tyler Denny one, I feel like that loss was a bit different because I feel like you were fully in the fight. It was closed, obviously, with this Hamza Shiraz one. You may have felt like you didn't get a chance to get going and show what you were about, kind of things. Did that affect you differently, like mentally? And what kind of headspace were you in after that fight?
So the for that one, I think that was the worst one because I was like, shit, am I even at this? I thought I was at this level. Can I even box at that level?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I've come
started doubting yourself.
Yeah, and that was when the doubts really came in because obviously Tyler was obviously that was for the English level, and I know I was just off. Do you know what I mean? I just lost. So then, obviously, the next level is like I jumped up because I boxed for a WBC silver, and it was a Commonwealth title.
Okay. So is that what was on the line? Was it against Hamza?
Yeah,
okay.
WBC silver and the Commonwealth, and I was like, obviously, when I lost, I got blown out the park, bam, and I was like, got home, and I was just like, am I even that good? That's the questions that come in my head.
Yeah. It's natural that you'd start.
Yeah. Jesus, I've stepped up levels against a lad who said that they're really good. And I've sparred with these people. I've sparred world champions and stuff.
He was what, about 17-0 at that point?
Yeah, he was. And I think he was. It was his 9th stoppage in a row.
Who's his promoter? Who's he signed with? Is it Eddie Hearn? Or?
No, he's signed with Frank Warren. Yeah, but he trains out in. Where's he training? Might be Miami or something.
Oh yeah, I actually saw that lately. He goes abroad for his camps.
Goosen.
Right?
He trains with Goosen.
Oh, is that his coach?
He's
his
coach, yeah. So it's hardcore, man. Do you know what I mean? He had 9 months in LA. It was LA, yeah. He had 9 months training in LA, and I was training in Bulkington in the shed. Do you know what I mean? I had a month in the shed. But there's that. But you can't take it away from him. He's a talent. But like I said, how I felt after the fight, it weren't nice, and that was another one. Like I said, I had to pull myself out of it. Yeah, and that was just because of levels. I thought in my head, is
that why it felt a bit different, a bit harder to take because you thought, am I at this level?
I thought I was at that level. I thought I could do this guy. In my head, I thought I was going to knock him out, and then obviously that happened. I had another fight. Like I said, as soon as that happened, I was like, I need to get into the gym again. I need another fight.
Yeah.
Same thing happened again. I had another fight, and then I got a phone call for the Ammo Williams fight.
Yeah, I remember that Ammo Williams one. How did you find that?
Same again. So it came up, and I was like, right.
Again, another guy who's touted to do some big things, right?
2 weeks' notice I got given for it.
2 weeks?
Yeah, 2 weeks' notice. And I thought,
out of 100%, what would you say you were in that ring? Because at 2 weeks' notice, you're never going to be at 100%.
I would say maybe 50, 40, maybe about 50, 40%.
Yeah.
But in my head, I was 100%.
Was it still worth taking, do you think?
Yeah, mate, because I've just, actually saying that, I thought it was a bit more, mate. I'll say about 70 because I just boxed, but I had a cut leading in that camp.
Okay.
So I had a cut, so I couldn't spar for the last 2 weeks of last 3 weeks of the main part of sparring. I couldn't spar for that camp. And then obviously boxed a southpaw, luckily. Yeah. Boxed southpaw. Then the next day I got the phone call for the Ammo fight. So I was like, oh God, I'll take it. It's my chance on the Anthony Joshua.
You got to try and shock, right? Yeah, and it's a big card.
At the O2.
Who was Anthony Joshua fighting
Franklin.
on? Franklin. Okay, yeah. It's a big card to be on. Yeah, you've got to say yes to that. Can't turn it down.
I can't turn these opportunities down. Yeah. So yeah, I was like, yeah, okay, cool, I'll take it. And then in my head, it was like, okay, now I'm going to find out if I can box at this level. Do you know what I mean? Because obviously I've kind of washed out of my head that I am at that level, and Hamza was just a one-off. He was just I was stumbled across the world champion, and with Ammo, I really got into the fight for some. I think I did 16 rounds sparring for that fight.
Yeah.
And look what happened with me, mate. I got to the 8th round. Okay, I just started to tire down a little bit. Maybe that was conditioning. But mate, if I had a full camp for Ammo, if I had that month,
you're holding your own.
If I had that month for the Hamza Shiraz, I think I would have beat him.
Yeah.
He won a bigger punch as I thought it was going to be. Yeah. So everybody kept saying, you're going to get knocked out in a round. You're going to knock down in 2 rounds.
Yeah. Oh, people were actually saying that.
Loads of people saying. I get so many messages.
Just random people messaging.
People, yeah, and on Twitter.
Is that how it goes? Is it? I wouldn't have expected. That's so like kind of early in your career. Like, is some of your kind of first big opportunities, right? And you've already got people messaging you saying you're going to get knocked out.
We'll come back to the Ammo thing, but with the Tyler one, Jesus Christ, I got slated on that.
Oh, really?
Hard, yeah. After the first fight,
you're going to have to be mentally strong to deal with a lot of that, right?
Mate, I just turned my phone off, man.
Did you?
Yeah. Then after a while, I could go back and I was reading them. I was thinking,
having a little giggle after the fight.
But yeah,
did it ever get to you at any point though?
Nah, not on the social media stuff because it's just people just sat there and how can they comment on what's going on?
I just noticed you've got a big scar on your hand. Have you had surgery on it?
Yeah, I had an operation. So I had an operation after my 3rd fight. I went to go see a doctor called Mike Hayton, who's done like Amir Khan's, he's done Tony Bellew, Anthony Fowler's, done all the big boys' arms hands over. I think he's in Manchester. I went for it.
Yeah,
and I had a ban hand all the way for the amateurs. I think my last 3 years of my amateurs, I couldn't really throw a right hand, so I still battled with my jab.
Yeah.
Threw it when I had to, but and it went on me on my third fight, and then my manager said, "Well, we need to get it fixed," and ever since it's been fine.
Okay,
knocking people out with it. So
decent, mate. We can't ask for anything more, can you? To be honest,
definitely not. But yeah, go back to that Ammo Williams. With the fight, it was going on, and I was getting good building confidence. He was missing me with his left hand, southpaw. He kept going under my head, and I was just I thought, yeah, this is going good. I'm winning, and I started to tie down, and then he dropped me. Didn't really hurt me when he dropped me. It was a good shot. It was a flash knockdown. He hit me, and I got back up. I spat my gum shield out because just to give myself a 10. Give you that an extra couple of seconds. You got to do what you got to do. Well, because I seen him when I looked at him, got back up. He was standing there and he's bouncing. I thought he's just going to rush me now. So I'll spit it out, give myself some seconds, and it calms him down there.
That's a good point.
He's looking around thinking, for God's sake. And then he comes back out and he's calm. And the next round, he stopped me in the next round. But it was off my coach threw the towel in. He didn't stop me. But I weren't too happy about that. I thought, I don't know. I just didn't think he weren't hurting me. So
did I recently see that you've moved to Red Corner Gym now as well, right? Are you training in Paul Hudson?
Yeah.
He's a great coach. I've seen him around a lot. I did a few sessions with him myself, and he knows his stuff. He's very knowledgeable, very high IQ when it comes to boxing.
He's got a good boxing brain.
Yeah.
And he's brilliant to work with. The only reason why I kind of left Brent, because I was with Brent through everything. He's been with him from the start, from the amateurs. The only reason I left because I think I was just getting a bit too comfortable.
Yeah. Sometimes you do need that change just to freshen it up a little bit.
Get too happy, to get too comfortable. So I just thought, I need to. It's coming to my last few years now. I'm 30 next month, so I need to just try something different. Like if I didn't, then I'd kick myself for not trying it.
So
then obviously everybody kept saying about Paul, get do some sessions with him. I started training, doing my S&C with Carl Wish.
I've seen him. I've heard of him at Red Corner Gym.
He used to box for the Army boxing team and stuff.
Did he used to box for Benefect Servicemen by any chance?
I think he did. Yeah, he did.
I think I might have been there brief. I was probably like 10 years old when he was there, but I think I might remember.
And then he went to Borkington afterwards as well. But he's wicked, man, and he smashes all my S&C with me. So then he kind of got me onto Paul as well. Went through with Paul, and he's learning me well. I'm adapting to his style. We obviously had just the last fight, and I lost it with Ryan Kelly. But
what was his thoughts on
that? He didn't want me to take the fight at the start. Yeah, he was a bit like...
was it a short notice fight? Or
No, I had enough time, but he's just not enough time.
He wanted you a bit longer, basically.
He wanted me to learn his style more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He wanted me to have another...
And what is his style? What does he want from you?
He just wants me to be nice, long, elusive, chill. Like normally what I do, but he's just little improvements.
Yeah.
Little improvement, and it is. And what he's teaching me is little improvements, but it's massive.
Makes a big difference.
It is. And just have my jab a lot. Use my jab as a weapon.
Yeah.
Because I do at times, but there's minor adjustments anyway that he's making, and it's good. But he, like I said, he didn't want me to take the fight because he wanted me to fight. I think maybe have 2 or 3, maybe 2 journeymen before, just so he can watch me. In that situation to see what I'm like.
Yeah, put it into practice.
Because we didn't really have. I was getting a lot of injuries in that camp. My arms were hurting me. I was getting bad hands. So I think I did about 50 rounds. Where he wanted me to do like 110.
Yeah.
But obviously, I'm never pulling out of a fight over a little injury, and it was. And I went in there, and I thought when I watched it back, I thought I won that.
I was about to say it was close,
but they said it was settled for him to win. I saw it. They only give me 120 tickets for it.
Oh, really? Why was that?
Just because it was on his promotion show.
Okay.
So 120 tickets, and they gave me 2 tables, and they were at the back of the room.
Yeah.
All my guys were at the back of the room, and when I walked out, it was literally the ring was surrounded by his table. So it's a
definition of him being set up to win. You would have had to win convincingly to take that with you, right?
100%,
take the win.
Exactly.
Was there a title on the line?
Yeah, there was a Commonwealth Silver.
Commonwealth
Silver. So we both. It was a great fight, mate. I just thought I could have got him out in the 7th round. I hurt him, and I was letting him my shots go, and he threw a couple of shots back, and I just stepped back and I thought, oh no, he's okay. But when I spoke to him afterwards, he said he was gone.
Yeah.
He said I hit him. He said he looked up and he's just said, "Where the fuck am I?" And then he said that I was hitting him, and then he was like, "Shit." But it was I'll never make that mistake again. I have someone going like that, like I normally do. I don't know why I did it, why I stepped off, but Yeah, it's one of them, mate.
So obviously
I'm still battling with this now.
Yeah, obviously that was how long ago was that now? Because that was your last fight, right?
That was about 3 weeks ago, I'd say.
Oh, so it wasn't that long ago. Oh, was it?
No, 3, 4 weeks.
How are you? How are you handling that now?
It's hard
Yeah,
still because I only first watched it back about 2 days ago.
yeah.
Um, Paul kept saying, "Watch it back, watch it back."
I'm surprised boxers are like that, and they don't want to watch it back. So I remember back to the days when I was an amateur. First thing I do is as soon as I get home, I want to watch it. But you you wanted to stay away from watching it back for a bit.
Yeah, because I knew it myself. I knew on that 7th round when I hit him and he was gone, I knew I should have took him out. So then I was like, I can't watch it because I'm going to watch it. I'm going to beat myself up about it.
Yeah.
And then I was losing sleep over it.
Really?
Yeah. I'd go back, just do a little session with Paul, just to, like I say, ticking in the gym.
Yeah.
I'll go in there, do a session, and we'll talk about it. And we'll do that at night time, and I'll go home and I won't sleep. Because I'll be in bed and I'll just be thinking, why did I do that? I should have done that.
Yeah.
And that's it, man. It's always woulda, coulda, shoulda.
Yeah, and obviously you were saying you've got your other half, you've got a little one. Is boxing your sole income? Do you have another job or?
And at the minute, yeah, I'm just boxing full time at the minute.
Yeah.
So I get money from my sponsors.
Does that add a added sense of pressure to win fights? Would you like the pressure or?
It can be, but obviously because you win this fight, you got a big fight next.
Yeah.
Especially when you sign these contracts with Matchroom and you get paid this much and you get paid X amount.
Yeah.
It's got it all planned out for you. There's a bit of pressure, yeah, of course, because it's a lot of changing if you win these fights.
I think just for anybody, like even like for myself, like if you're married, you got kids, you got a standard like kind of office job. There's always that sense of I should be able to I've got to be able to provide, and it's a pressure that men feel sometimes, right? And for you, times that by 100 because you're a boxer, it's your living, right?
100%.
So,
but my partner, she works as well, so she's got my back.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So but we got the bills are paid and we do good things. We go on holiday. I went on holiday 5 times last year.
Awesome.
Do you know what I mean? We're good. We're happy, man. But there's always pressure. And like I said, even if, like you just said then, even if I weren't boxing and I was just working, there's always pressure when you got family and stuff.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You always want more.
You seem very laid back. Like you take things kind of in your stride, which is a good mindset to have, 100%,
right? Mate. I am very like that, and I just. Except when I fight. When I fight, I'm a nasty. I'm a nasty bastard.
It is what you want to be, mate. Switch it on at the right time, right?
That's what I've learned as well through it all. Like you see people and they lose a fight. They can lose a fight in the changing room. Like sitting there and they're all nervous. I always try to tell the amateurs because you see it a lot in the amateur gyms when they're fighting the home shows. They get lads are just what they are in the gym in the changing room. They're completely different.
Is very true. And do you know what? That was thinking about losing a fight before you're even in the ring. I remember there were times I used to do that. Like, say if I was in the championships, and say if I got to somewhere which was close to a national, whether it be a national final or a national semi, as soon as you get to that point, you're up against good people, right? And then I'd be like, okay, you find out the name of who you're fighting. You start doing your research. Is this kid any good? Like this, and sometimes I think I get it in my head, and I'd be like, oh, like I've read that this kid's like decent, and when really like. They're probably thinking the same thing about you, right? 100%. So it's one of those you can lose a fight before you've stepped in the ring. Because I know I definitely had. Yeah. So it's good that that's something that you recognised straight away, right?
Yeah, 100%. There's another one. A good example of that kind of is. Did you watch the Nathan Heaney and Bentley fight the other night?
I didn't know.
I like Bentley. I spar Bentley quite a lot, and obviously me and Nathan. Oh, all right, but he obviously everybody's saying like Nathan Heaney's going to get knocked out.
Yeah.
Beat him. But Nathan obviously went into that fight with confidence because you've got to go to a fight, and I believe he did go in there with confidence. So he's gone in there with confidence there. Bentley's like here every time Bentley can knock him out. Through the fight, his confidence is going up, and his confidence is going down. Like when it's that high, you can only go down.
Yeah.
And then he was just trying to knock him out. Not really using his jab, and then obviously Heaney was just doing really well, and Heaney's British champion now. And you say Bentley had a bad night. You could say that, or did Nathan Heaney's game plan work? But it just shows then about confidence, what it can do. I mean, his confidence was this high, but he's got better and bigger. Yeah. So you can be too confident.
You got to get it like just right. There's, like you said, losing a fight before you even got in the ring, but there's also, and again, I've definitely lost fights where I've been too overconfident. Because in the amateurs, sometimes you'll fight the same person more than once, right? And or in the pros as well. But there are instances where I've beat someone in the first fight, and going into their second fight, I started feeling that sense of being overconfident, and I've got this in the bag. And they were the fighters that I did the worst in, where I was overconfident. You need the nerves before you go in, right?
Nerves are massive. When I first felt that, it was against Tom Cox. Do you know Tom
Is that
Cox?
from Better Effect Service?
Yeah, Better Effect Service.
Yeah,
Dad used to coach.
Yeah.
I boxed
Did you
Tom
fight Tom Cox? Did you?
Yeah, he was in the same form as me at school. And
Shout
stuff.
out to Tom Cox.
Yeah, boxed Tom, and the first fight, and I was like, I'm going to beat him. Do you know what I mean? I go to school with Tom. He's in the same form as me. Everyone at school went to the fight, so Reese boxed Conor Robson as well. So everybody, the whole school of our year was there.
Yeah.
And I lost, man. I was just too confident.
Did you lose to Tom Cox?
I was too. Did
you fight him just the once?
I think I got a point taken off me.
You fight him just the once?
Twice. Yeah, a point taken off me, and then I think the scores were. I think it was 16-17. I forgot what the score was. Something like that. Anyway, very close. Yeah. Had a few points taken off me. I think I had 2 points taken off actually. And then I boxed him again. And the same thing. I think Conor had the rematch with Reese. And the whole school was there, and I was so nervous. I remember before the fight, I was literally, I was putting my head on against the wall, and I was like, "Oh my god, if I lose now," do you know what I mean? All my mates are out there. And I went out there and I boxed quality.
So you won the second fight.
Best I've ever boxed. Yeah. I think the scores were something like 26-9 or something like that.
This must have been early in your amateur career.
Yeah,
right?
This was early. Yeah, I don't know how many fights I would have had. Maybe about 10, 11.
Do you think that that's helped you then, like growing up, obviously moving into the pro game as well? Obviously, you've had your fair share of big wins.
Yeah.
You've had quite a few losses as well. Do you think that helps you in everyday life? Because one thing I say to people is one of the big takeaways that I had from boxing was it taught me to lose in the right way.
Yeah.
And
probably.
Don't really treat it like a loss. As long as you're always learning from it or learning something from the loss, it can be a step in the right direction, and it's a case of handling it the right way. Do you think it's helped you?
Yeah, I'd say it's helped me. Boxing's helped me in every direction in life. Like you say, as in taking them losses, as in being dedicated and pushing through things.
Yeah.
So, I mean, sometimes you look at a task and you're like, oh my God, you got to paint. I know it sounds so stupid, but you got to paint a wall at home or something. You got to do loads of painting. You're like, I can't be asked to do this, but you're like, no, let's get the determination. And
you built that resilience in you to like push through and do things that you don't want to do.
Yeah, and I'll do it to the end. Do you know what I mean? And I won't stop. And do you know what I mean? And my partner will be like, no, you can chill out. And I just, no, I'm going to the end until I finish.
Yeah, that's a good point about boxing and what it teaches you, to be fair. Because, I just thinking back to how it helped me, it makes you better at doing the things that you don't want to do, right? Because when you think about it, training, it is like army style, regimented.
Yeah.
You're having to train like a monk in camp. And, it's the things that you've got to do. You may not want to... You do enjoy training to an extent, but there's large parts of it. Like I said, running at 4 or 5 in the morning, which I see you were doing quite regularly, and you still do regularly. I don't think you particularly, or do you enjoy it?
No. There was a time, obviously, that when I was working on the roofs.
Yeah.
At the start, when I started pro boxing.
Yeah.
I was getting up before work, so sometimes it'd be 5 in the morning, sometimes it'll be 4. Going for a run, coming back, shower, breakfast, get in the van.
Did that ever take it out of you? Obviously,
at the time, mate, it didn't. At the time, I thought I was fine. And then when I went back to work after I think it was a Hamza fight, I went back to work for a week or so. I went back and then doing it again, I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Like I was going into the gym and I was knackered. I was tired and I couldn't get the best out of the sessions.
Yeah.
And then obviously got the phone call for the ammo fight. Obviously went back off work.
Yeah.
Because I'm self-employed anyway, so I'm in and out. I could go in and out of work when I want. But then, like I said, I've learned from that. Now you can't do both. You can, because people do it, but you can't be the best of yourself when you're doing both.
Yeah. I know a lot of people looking from the outside will look at professional boxers and probably look at you. They see you under the lights, and I guess what I will ask, is it all kind of the glitz and the glamour that people think it is, or
no? That's all that people see. People all
they see the
all except my partner. Yeah, all people see is me doing the ring walk, getting the shorts on, the cameras, doing the interviews. But no one sees like you say. I put it on social media a bit, but the runs. People just see me running, but it's actually getting up and doing it. Then, like I say, then working or what I'm doing now, doing the training, and I'm constantly in and out of the house. People probably think, oh, it's really good because you're always at home with your baby.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I'm out of the house 3 times a day,
Mm.
so I'm in, out. So it's hard. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it must have been hard with the little one as well, because that's obviously how old?
She's
is the little
2 now.
2, so it would have been like you're
Yeah.
right in the midst of your professional
Exactly.
career. So
And obviously, luckily we've got a sleeper, so she sleeps
Yeah.
really well. So
okay.
she's been really good.
Yeah.
But it's day-to-day life. It's hard, especially with training. But I love it, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I do love it, and like the thought of because I know that I'm 30 next month, so I've probably got in my
Probably
head.
going into your peak years now,
Yeah,
right?
in my head, I've got another good 4 years, good 4 or
Yeah.
5 years maybe, if I'm pushing it right. I'm thinking.
I think you've experienced some really good fights that I think are going to be valuable now in your next couple of years.
100%,
That you've got
mate.
good rounds against good opponents.
Well, when you look at like Tyler Dene, when I boxed him, he was 30, and he took them losses, and he took them drew. He drew a few times, and then it put him into that position where he is now, and he was boxing lads who was unbeaten, and he's already been through them. He's been through the dramas, and he's seen them different styles. So that's what I think is going to happen to me anyway.
What's your aspirations now then? Because you said obviously you fought Hamza, you fought Amo Williams, 2 again touted to probably be world champions. What do you want from your career? Because I think just because you may not have been at the right place to win those fights at that time, it doesn't mean you can't get to that level still, 100%. Right? So what are those aspirations? What are you going for?
I want to be a British champion, man.
Yeah,
that's always been for me. I always wanted to win the British title. And I want to do it right. The Midlands title, English title, British. That's what I really want to do. Then if whatever come after that, bring it. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I think that's more than within your reach,
right?
Yeah,
and it's still it, mate. It definitely is, man. Like, I'm more looking around at the British champions now, and I spar British champions. Like when I sparred Josh Kelly not too long ago.
How did that go? I was
really good spar.
It was good to see that.
Good.
Was he like?
He's a mover. He is. And he dances, and his footwork's really good. And he's. I thought he was quite negative, very negative, but that's the way his style is. Ain't it? He's always on the back foot. But I had a good chat with him afterwards, and he was saying like he really liked how I was coming forward because he spars a lot of people, and they don't want to attack him.
And he goes, show him too much respect.
Yeah. They don't want to attack him. And me, I was running there holding him. When he was trying to move on, I was holding, pinned him down. And
is he as good as what people say? Obviously, he's a bronze medalist in the Olympics, right? So he's got to be. Got to be decent.
He's slick, man. He is good. Yeah.
Did you handle yourself with him? Do you think?
Yeah, definitely,
good
man.
Stuff.
I always do with these lads. And then the week before, I sparred Bentley for and helped him out for the Heaney. Well, I didn't not help him out, but he asked me to go over for the sparring for the Heaney fight.
Yeah.
But like I said, I've sparred world champions. I've sparred like Liam Smith. I've sparred Liam Williams, David Avanesian. Sparred like some good world level and European level fighters. And I always hold my own.
Are you ever taken aback when you first see them and you're going to get in that ring? Do you have that kind of when you idolise someone? Like it's like, oh wow, you get like
you do. Yeah, when I first started, when I first sparred, I think the one that I got it the most with, it's a bit weird, you wouldn't think, but Liam Williams.
Okay.
Like I sparred Liam Smith before that. Me and Liam, still obviously there was the mutual respect. You always do. But when I got Liam Williams, I was just really respecting him too much. In the first half of the spar. And then my coach was like, "Come on, Riv, what are you doing?" And then the second half of the spar, I really picked it up, and it was a really good spar. But it's training.
That's what happens though. That's why sparring is sparring, right? Because you learn from not to do that in the ring, basically. Because it's normal, especially when you're sparring big names like you are, like you said, like Avanesian, who obviously beat Josh Kelly, right? And he's a tough guy.
He's a good operator, man. He like I said, I sparred him for the Kelly fight. And
did you, when you sparred him before the Kelly fight, did you think he would do what he was going to do? You did?
I did. I knew exactly what he was going to do to Josh. And I knew, he's going to stop him. Because, like I said, he taught me a lesson as well. Because I think I only had 6 or 7 fights when I sparred him. And obviously, I'm always learning anyway. Like when I'm sparring these good guys, I'm always taking information back from them. But I got in there with him, and for 3 rounds, he was letting me just fire off, and I was just pinpointing and firing. It was going wicked. And then the next 3 rounds, he turned on the turbo. And and the last
he's got a good engine on him as well.
The last round, mate, he was. I had my hands up, and he was really good because he manipulated me. So he was knock me off with his shoulder, and then he'd hit me with like a right hand. So he'd knock me off, hit me there, then I'd go to throw, but then he'd be round the other side of me, and I didn't even know where he was, and then he was hitting me. It was after when I got out of that sixth round, I got out and I was like, wow,
yeah,
I've seen the level there.
Yeah.
But like I said, for 3 rounds, he like pulled me into that false sense where I'm like, oh, this is sad.
This is all right.
I'm scoring, and if you watch the Josh Kelly fight for the first 3 rounds, he does the same thing.
Yeah, it is actually. That's a good point.
Yeah. Josh Kelly scoring, he's doing all flashy, but what he's doing is he's taking information on. He's looking at you.
He's very intelligent.
Yeah, he's looking at the gaps. Oh, okay, there it is. And then he takes it when he sees.
Which is what he started doing in a weird way. Like he started which I never thought he would do to Josh Kelly, because Josh Kelly himself is very intelligent and like you said, he's got skills. But I think Avanesian started picking holes in him very slowly.
And then you got to think as well, like the levels that Josh was going in with, it was a massive step up for Josh. I think Josh didn't even box for a British title or anything like that.
Yeah, maybe a fight or two too early.
Yeah, definitely. Like as Venetian was like I think he was 6 or 7 time European champion. When you got, like they say, obviously Midlands English, British, then they say from British to European it's that. From European to world it's that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because you put when Errol Spence, he didn't box Errol Spence, did he? Who did he box? Crawford.
Yeah.
Avanesian did. And when he boxed Crawford, obviously.
He boxed Crawford as well?
Yeah. Crawford knocked him out.
Okay. Which is there's no shame in
that.
No
shame in that. Exactly. Come on, it's Crawford. But do you see like the difference? And like he's wiping everybody out in the European. But that for his weight, the step there is
he could easily be a world champion, right?
If he gets past people. But the problem is he's got to box people like Crawford. And
that's a stacked weight division, right? There's some good people in that division.
Like I said, the step up is ridiculous.
Yeah.
But you could do. You never say never, because you don't. It's all about opportunities and when. Do you know what I mean? Like when it's your time, it's your time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, 100%.
And like we said, obviously you're entering your peak years now. You're 30 years old.
29.
Oh, you're 29 still.
I've got a few more days.
Oh, you got a few more days?
Nah, weeks.
Weeks. Fair enough. Yeah. But what are some of who are the big names? Who do you want?
There's not.
Who are you looking at next, or is it not about the names?
It's not about the names, man. And then people always say, but it's not. It's about the titles and about pushing myself into good positions. I make myself mandatory for the good titles. I want the British title, and if I need to get to that, I need to get the English title.
Yeah, I
feel like that's the best way. Or I could be made a volunteer. You get volunteer chances, but I don't think I'll ever get that chance as a volunteer because it's just I'm a bit of probably a hard fight to take for a volunteer. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If there was voluntary, sorry.
Yeah. If there was one though, who would you? What name? That stands out to you that you'd want to share that ring with?
What, as in like all time, or someone that I'm looking at now? Like I'll box you and I'll take that title.
Let's start with someone now.
Someone now who's got the title that I want is that Nathan Heaney.
Yeah,
and it's not the fact that I want to box him. I do want to box the title, but obviously Nathan's from the Nathan's from the Midlands.
Yeah.
We're both in the Midlands. He's Stoke. I'm Coventry. Yeah, of course, I'd like to fight Nathan Heaney. I was going to fight for the English title, but he pulled out of that fight because obviously he knows the script.
Yeah.
But So.
And who do you model yourself on? Would you say as a professional boxer?
As a professional boxer,
what boxers do you look up to?
Thomas Hearn.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that because you've got a very similar style.
Yeah. I was even trying to grow the hair out for the last four. All the curls, got the cherry curls going.
But you got a similar type of physique as well, and you're both rangy. So
100%, mate. And I love watching Thomas Hearn and Sugar Ray and all the old school fighters.
Yeah.
Obviously, I love my Mayweathers and Gervonta Davis and stuff like wow. But obviously, when I look up to people who I sit and watch the most of, I'm McLaren.
Okay.
But it's good.
But no, that's a good recap of your kind of entire career. But looking back, what would you say is your proudest moment, your biggest highlight, and what would you say is your lowest moment, which we may have already touched on already?
Like I said, my proudest moment was probably my first fight on TV.
Yeah.
Knocking someone out on
Troy
TV.
Coleman?
Yeah, it was Troy Coleman, knocking him out on TV because, like I said, it was in lockdown and everyone was at home
watching. Everyone saw it, yeah. Like I said, I was watching it, so
everyone was tuned
It took me aback when I seen it because I saw he was obviously undefeated as well, and so I was expecting a really close fight, and he was competitive.
Yeah, it was competitive,
but you just caught him with a hell of a big right hand.
It was set up lovely as well. But I got him out. That was probably, I'd say,
your best.
Yeah, 100%. And then it was just my slap to say, like, I'm in the professional game now. Come on, like, do you know what I mean? I'm here for titles. So that was out of the way. My lowest, like I said, I've touched on before, the Hamza Shiraz fight. I think that was definitely my lowest. Just because, like I said, levels. Like I said, I stumbled across a world champion, but at the time I'm there, like, it's me. Do you know what I mean? Like, but hey ho, man.
Did any of those doubts ever creep in where you thought, boxing's not for me? Like,
they always debate when you lose. When I take a loss, I've took a loss now, and it was a very close fight. On the scorecards, I wouldn't say were fair, but it is what it is. I don't feel it's a UD decision. I thought it was a majority decision to me, but you can't win them all, can you?
What about your other half? Does she? I know you said she's really supportive with the boxing and whatnot, but it must be hard for her to watch you time after time getting in there.
She loves it.
Oh, does she?
She's boxing mad. Like, sometimes we sit in bed, she's like, "Do you want to put the boxing on?"
Really?
Yeah. Nice. She loves watching it. She's really. I always ask for her opinion because she tells me straight away. Like,
okay,
good. What was I doing wrong?
So she knows her stuff as well.
And she's like, "You're really over your front foot." And sort of like she's really clued up on it.
Is she boxed herself?
Nah, never boxed herself. Okay. She only really got into boxing, obviously, when she got with me. And but she's just obviously we talk about boxing. Boxing is a massive part of her life.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? For mine and hers. Like you say, like, I'll go through all this struggle and I'll go through all this pain. She does as well.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? She goes
completely
through.
Understandable.
She goes through me being all mardy when I'm in camp. Not mardy, but when I'm hungry and I'm in camp and she can't go for like all couples. You see couples going out for meals and stuff like we don't do that. A lot. Only when I'm out of camp. But it's she goes through it as much as I do. Okay. I say that's not with the training.
Yeah. No, it's interesting.
But she does though. But like she has to make sacrifices.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? She's a proper home girl. She's a proper family woman.
Yeah.
So she's not. She don't really go out with her mates.
Yeah.
She goes out. She's got mates, but she doesn't go out drinking all the time.
Yeah.
She's just not into that.
Yeah.
So it's
probably suits your lifestyle as well, right?
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Imagine me sitting in bed in camp, like I've got 2 weeks to go, and she's going on the piss, coming back stinking of booze, waking me up.
Yeah,
it's not like that at all. Do you know what I mean?
It's an interesting thing. Obviously, we went to school together, and the environment that we're in, obviously, we'll have a lot of mates. It's the same for a lot of people. You have mates who are out drinking, doing loads of different stuff. There's nothing wrong with that if you're going to parties and like whatnot. So there's a level of I don't know what the word is. There's a level of resistance you probably had to show to not get sucked into that, right?
Of course. Yeah, definitely. And you know what it's like. We come from a small town, Bedworth, and what it's about, and it's just pubs everywhere.
Yeah.
Pubs everywhere, and everybody's always just up to doing what they're doing. And I've had my years of going out and drinking. Like when I was an amateur, there's a few years where I went out and I was drinking and I was doing this and that, drinking and getting pissed and going to clubs and and then obviously I hit an age where I was like, my coach said to me, like, let's do this serious now. Like, your last 3 years or last 2 years in the amateurs, let's really put everything into it. And obviously then I turned pro after that. And I've just living the same life ever since.
Okay. Do you not drink at all now then?
Yeah, I do drink here and there.
On the occasion,
but, you know what? If people ask if I probably drink 4 or 5 times a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how much I'm constantly fighting. When I've got a fight, that's it. Boom, straight back onto my diet.
Yeah.
To any drink. But I do like a beer here and there. Yeah, cool, man. But
yeah, of course. If anyone deserves it every now and again, it's boxers, right?
Yeah.
You're like a monk for so many months of the years. Sometimes you do need to let your hair down. But I think it's always, and I'm not being judgmental in any way because I know everyone's different, but it's a case of trying to find that right balance and not completely blowing out and letting yourself get massively out of shape. And because, like you said, those big fights could be a phone call or a couple of weeks away, right?
Exactly, and it's all about the opportunities. Make sure you're there, you're ready for it, to grab it, because that's what they'll try doing. They'll see you've got a little win, or they'll see you just took a loss, and they're thinking, "Oh, okay, he's probably going to go on the piss now, so we'll grab him now." Do you know what I mean? Or we'll throw some money in his face, and he'll probably take the fight half-heartedly, knowing that he's going to win. Lose, sorry, but just trying to think about what.
So I think we're just coming to the end of the podcast, but just before we finish, what's in the pipeline at the minute? Any fights coming up or anything scheduled?
Nothing scheduled at the minute. I'm still just ticking over, just doing runs here, going to do some boxing sessions, some tech sessions, loads of S&C.
Yeah.
Just preparing me for, I think, February.
Yeah.
Feb. We're going to go for Feb.
Working your way towards that English title again, right?
100%. Put myself in that mandatory position. But I'm just trying to think. There was I got made mandatory to box a guy called Derek one day for the Midlands fight, for the Midlands title.
And you've already won the Midlands title before, right?
Yeah, I've still got it. I'm still the holder now. Yeah, but Derek's a good lad. I know Derek. He lost to Tyler. He was 10-0 and lost to Tyler for his 11th fight, so he's only had one loss. He's a good fighter, and it'll be a great fight. And I want the fight when the fight got made. Well, it hasn't been made, but when I got paid mandatory to fight him, I said, yeah, I want the fight. And then my manager had to like rein me in a little bit and say, look, he ain't got a good ranking. He's if no one bids, because it's like in-purse bids, if no big promoters bid on the fight, then you're gonna be fighting for peanuts. So there's just no point. I'm still highly ranked. I'm still ranked like 13th for the UK. Do you know what I mean? So I've still got a really high ranking. So he just said sometimes.
Who is number one in the UK?
UK number one now is Chris Eubank.
Chris Eubank,
Liam Smith. I think he's third. I can't think he's third.
Okay.
I don't even know the top
But
three.
You're just working your way back up those rankings now, right? That's the aim, getting to a position for that English-British title.
Yeah, and I'm there, man. So I'm in the top 15. So I'm like I say, I'm 13th in the ranking. So I've just got to keep pushing, plodding, keep fighting, staying active. That's the main key. Like I say, don't be tripped. I've got availability is the one, like I said, and you're just keeping that engine going and keep fighting and staying active.
Don't get lulled into a false sense of security of just plodding along, not thinking anything.
Because stay active. Do you know what I mean? Keep active, keep fighting, because if you get a phone call and you say, "Oh, my activity's been crap," or I've got the ring rust, at least you're doing that. At least you got the rust off you, and keep going.
No, 100%. Well, like I said, mate, I'm looking forward to it because I know you're entering your peak years now, and I genuinely feel like you've probably taken some really good lessons from some of the defeats that you've had to go through. Like you said, that Tyler Denny has probably been through himself, and now he's in a position where he's a European champion.
Man.
And I don't think that's ridiculous for you by any means. Like I said, I've seen you fight. I know what you're capable of, and I'm pretty sure you'll get that English or British title. I'll be watching closely. Hopefully, I can come to one of your fights. That'll be a great experience. And thank you for coming on, mate. It's been a really good chat, and one that I've been looking forward to for a while as well. And just to have that chat up close and personal. Like I said, I've been watching you from afar, and I really admired the stuff that you've done, how you've jumped into big fights, how you've come back from defeats, some of the big knockouts against Troy Coleman. There's a lot to admire, I think, from your career as a person as well, mate. And I mean that. I think we can wrap it up. But thank you for watching, everyone. If you've made it this far, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I will be on other platforms shortly as well, such as Spotify. So stay tuned for that, and give River a follow as well on social media. He's definitely going to be doing some big things on the boxing scene, and I'm sure he's going to go far, and he's going to get that English and British title very soon. It's coming. It's coming back to Coventry. Yeah, definitely, 100%. So thanks for watching, guys, and take care.